Everybody, this is Georgia, and this is part 3 of my blog series on how you can use images as a very powerful tool to get the kind of engagement that you need going in social media. Now, you may have heard or maybe even seen that pictures obviously can drive an incredible amount of engagement, particularly on Facebook. And it's true. According to Facebook, images receive 120% more engagement than text-only posts. In fact, one of the things that recently changed in the last couple of months is that Facebook is no longer giving as much weight to even posts. Let's say you find a great article or even your own blog post and you just put the link in there. What they want to see you do is actually add either a photo or a video. So here's one that I did the other day. It says, I have finally realized I suffer from CCD, computer compulsive disorder. And so what I did was I uploaded an image, and I used a great tool that I'm going to show you here in a second, and then I put in my text. Now, let's say that this linked to an actual blog article I wrote. After I've uploaded my picture, I could actually include that link, but it won't default to the actual image that's in the post. So it's really important that you do this. Now, there's a number of tools that you can use. Obviously, you folks are all great at Photoshop, but you know what? If you have some people in your office that you may have doing some of this for you, there's a great tool that I use, and it's called Canva, Canva.com. It's free. They actually have some images that are for free, so as always, we want to make sure that we have the right rights to use them. But I use this all the time to create different types of graphics and images that I want to use to post out. I do a lot with quotes, which is a technique that a lot of you guys can use. And here's one: skill in photography is acquired by practice, not by purchase. And I always make sure that when I actually post this image that I do give credit, and also that I know I have the rights to use that. But you can very easily create any kind of image. You can upload images that are your own, or you can even search in here and get some. As I said, a lot of them are free, but there are some that I think they sell typically for like $1 a piece. But let's get moving on, and what I'm going to cover in today's blog post is to give you some really awesome examples of how you as photographers can use images to really get the kind of results that you need to get. And so I have about, I don't know, in my toolkit, maybe 40 different ideas, but I'm going to try and keep this, a little bit shorter. So I'm only going to give you 5 today. So the first thing I want you to think about is how you can go behind the scenes. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, here's a great example. This is a photographer, H&H photographer, a client of ours that we have, Kim Hill, and she's a boudoir entertainment and a senior portrait photographer in Syracuse, New York. And she does an amazing job on her blog. I'm really proud of her, how often she blogs. But here she says, behind the scenes at a boudoir photo shoot. And so what she did was she took pictures of what was actually happening. She gave credit to the makeup artist as well as the hairstylist. And she wrote this great little article that now people can go ahead and share on her Facebook page. And I have to say that Kim has absolutely done a fabulous job on her page. She posts regularly. She has articles that she's written that she drives back to her blog posts. She just uses techniques like 5 lies we tell ourselves to not do a boudoir shoot. She has a little quote in there. She posts images of stuff that is inspiring. There's another quote that she used. And she really, really does a great, great job of using various techniques that I'm actually going to show you here in a second. So go ahead and give people behind the scenes look at what you're doing. Now, the behind the scenes doesn't have to be just what you're doing in terms of how you're photographing people. It could be anything that's even going on in your family. And I'm going to highlight Scott and Adina, just 2 wonderful, amazing individuals. And Adina's father went through some difficult times in the last couple of months. And what she did was, maybe they were tied up. They didn't have as much time to be as available as they used to be. And so she actually gave an update of what challenges she had when her father was quite ill. And you know what? People love this. They commented, they gave her inspiration, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. So give the behind the scenes, whether it's something that's maybe a challenge that's going on, or let them see the kinds of things that you're doing. Great technique. Now, the next thing I want to show you is that you can actually do something to highlight a milestone. And it can be a milestone as, great as an award that you may have gotten. It could be a milestone like a birthday. Here's an example of what Blair Phillips did. He posted on his business page that he just received something in the mail, getting his craftsman degree from the PP of A. And you can see over 225 people like this. He got tons of comments, shares, likes. And again, this is what you need to do to make sure that your profile, your page is actually being seen by your friends and fans. Because the more likes, shares, comments, etc. that you get, the more likely they are to see that. Hate to say it, folks, but today Facebook is actually becoming more of a pay-to-play environment. Now, here's another one, Wade Studios. And one of the things that you might want to think about is you can kind of bring up a subject that may be, I don't want to say complain, but let me just use that as a complain without actually complaining. And I've actually done some posts on H&H's fan page asking people what some of the challenges are that you're having. And a lot of it is, how can I get paid for what I really do, for the value of my photography? How do I fight off those weekend warriors, etc.? And so what Wade Studios did here, which was really, I thought, just incredible, is they found an awesome article about a young man who unfortunately had lost his wife. And this gentleman ended up finding her camera. Hopefully it's down here, not too far. And so what they did was they actually posted that out. Oh, I went down too far. Sorry about that, folks. And so it's a great way of saying, you know what? Here it is. There we go. Whoops. If you shoot weddings, remember that what you do is priceless. You'll never charge what you're worth. And then he linked that to an article that, was kind of sad, but also really kind of touching, where this man was united with a camera containing pictures of his late wife, who had passed away from cancer when she was only 30. They have done an awesome job also of really promoting out other inspiring things. They had an article that they posted. Here's one. Have you ever considered what you can do with your gift other than make money from it? And here it says, the wildest dream into realities for kids with health conditions. And there was another one that, go ahead and visit their page, Wade Studios. They posted out about, it was actually a video that, right here, in fact, this woman was diagnosed with breast cancer. And so what her friends did was they did a photo shoot with her. But what they did before their photo shoot was they actually went and shaved off all their heads. So Wade Studios really done a great job of, not just promoting out what they're selling and their services, but a lot of really creative techniques. Now, here's another one that a lot of you can use, and it's a great way to spark some conversation. So anytime you can, look for ways to engage your fans in a conversation. And you can use an image to catch their attention or a text. Well, what Tim and Michelle Brown have done, and I love this, because I don't see many photographers actually doing this, but down here, what they did was they took some images of this adorable little boy, and instead of, they said, this little Carrie stole our hearts. But what they did was they actually created an album. So they made the album, titled it, and then put in all the different pictures that they had actually taken. And they had 22 people like this. They had many comments. And remember, anytime anybody actually comments, shares, posts, whatever on these, they get shared with their newsfeed. So it's great word of mouth marketing. Another thing that you can do is go ahead and support your local business. This is another customer of ours. It's Highlight Studios, and they're located in Kansas. And what I love that she actually does is she goes ahead and whether it's, let me see if I can find right here, from our friends over at Erica Swift Events. Now, what's Erica Swift Events? They're a wedding planner in Kansas City. And so she recognized them, she tagged them, and put up this awesome post and showed how they are actually working together. And the first example that I showed you with Kim did that same thing, where she was actually promoting out hairstylists, makeup artists, etc. So don't be afraid to do that as well. So there you go, folks. There's 5 different types of ideas that you can use. As always, if you need to reach me, go ahead and you can find me. I'm going to type it in here because a lot of people end up liking me on my personal page, but it's actually Georgia L. McCabe, and that's my Facebook fan page. You can always reach me at H&H as well. I do a lot of their social media for them, and of course you can always go to my website, georgiamccabe.com. Hope you find this interesting, and stay tuned for part 4.